Yes, so this is the Mouthpiece Podcast, episode 3. I am Jake. This is Leyton. This is Rob Mulholland, our second guest ever. He's a stand-up comedian. He also has a podcast called Dead Men Talking, which I was on the other day. It's not out. Well, it might be out by the time this is out. Not sure. Depends how quick we are. But yeah, man, how's your fucking day?
So what, it was all right, and then I got to this podcast studio, and let's do about 18 false starts.
Yeah,
that was good, man. I'm all good.
Sick. Yeah, so I went on the Mouthpiece Podcast.
No, you didn't. You're on it right now.
We're on it right now, yeah. I'm forgetting which room I'm in again. I went on the Dead Men Talking podcast the other day, and I was telling Leyton about the... what is the wall called?
The wall of demonetization.
The wall of demonetization, which is basically the wall behind you where you're sat as a guest is just loads of framed pictures of like prolapses and people mutilating their bodies in different ways.
Yeah, it's all the fucked up stuff we get sent. On our first episode, we just said to people, send us the worst video on your phone. And people fucking delivered.
People had that on their phone?
Some of them did. There's some people who send us 10 a week. And
just for context, the type of videos he's talking about, when I went there the other day after not sleeping all night, I was watching videos of one where a guy sticking a kitchen knife up his ass, which was about this big. One was a guy with a rotted penis that had maggots in it. And one was a woman falling almost to her death at a circus. And
art.
Yeah, man.
Basically, we're like rotten.com, but a podcast.
Yeah, literally, that's what it reminded me of, man. Like back in the day at school, looking at fucked up shit on the internet.
That's it. Well, that's what I did in my teenage years. I was not really grown
Never
up.
grew up.
My dog had an asbo before he died.
Your dad?
What? My dog.
What?
He had an asbo before he died.
Your dog had an asbo?
I didn't know either. Yeah.
What did it do?
He had a fight with another dog.
How do you not know it's got an asbo though? Surely the owner's involved in the dog asbo.
It's my dog.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So how did you not know it had an asbo?
I did.
You did know?
I just said
right.
My dog.
I thought you were surprised by the asbo.
Like he just found out now, like he just got a text.
Why did you tell me about that?
Yeah, he wasn't vicious or anything. He just caught him on a bad day.
This is such classic dickhead dog owner. No, he's friendly. Don't worry, he's just being friendly as he bites your arm off.
No. So he was out on the run, on a run. My granddad's, we're on a walk. A lady comes, she's got 2 dogs and they both look a bit nutty, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, they started throwing the weight about. So my dog's, he's holding his own. So, they're at it. And the lady's put her hand in the middle and he's bit her. My dog bit her.
Oh, what, so he got put down?
No, he gave him an elbow.
Oh, just an asbo?
Yeah,
just a slap on the wrist.
Went allowed outside until he got a bloody tumour in his stomach and...
Oh, shit.
To be honest...
Sorry, was that the rule? It's like, he's allowed out if he gets belly cancer. That seems unnecessarily cruel.
No,
Sad, hairless dog.
He didn't let him out. And he's passed. I never saw him pass, though, which is weird.
Why is that weird?
Let me explain the situation.
It's weird when you don't watch a dog die.
So it was like, I didn't know my dog was ill. Right. But he was.
Right.
I didn't know he was ill until I started hearing him moaning at night.
Right.
So, there must be something wrong with him.
To wrap this up?
This is one of the bleakest stories I've ever heard in my life.
I don't feel like I feel like we've heard the best of it as well.
No, I
don't feel like there's going to be a happy ending.
He couldn't walk, he couldn't eat or anything.
This is depressing me.
So one day, my uncle came.
Just
picked him up, took him away, and never saw him again.
What do you think? What's your theory on what your uncle did?
I was shouted at a blind man by accident because I had a dog that was like really aggressive, and this geezer was just walking towards me with his little gay dog, and I was looking at him like, his dog weren't gay, but it looked it. So he's walking towards me.
That was just a fluoro coat on a Labrador.
And my dog just used to attack really nice with people.
Gay.
Yeah. It had a flamboyant strut about it. It was weird. So I was looking at this dog like, you need to move, man, because my dog was a psychopath, and that was my fault. Because I was like one of those, like, it was my first dog that I had when I'd left my family and I was living on my own. So I didn't know how to not turn it into a psychopath. I just used to wrestle with it and like, it would just crack us. So this guy's walking towards me and I just went, "Are you going to move out my fucking way then?" And he just went and like started looking at the sky.
Oh no.
And then I noticed like he had like iffy sunglasses on that you wouldn't ever buy if you could see them. So another dog story. One time when I was like 15.
Is this one going to be a little more cheery?
No, yeah, a little bit. So these guys who were definitely drug dealers was like running down the road, clearly from the police, and there was this massive like 7-foot wall that they were all like climbing over, but they had a dog with them, and I would just stood there around, and they was like, "Oi, help me push this dog over this fucking wall." So I've done it, and like half of my thumb went up its arse. As I was pushing.
You fingered a dog over a wall.
During a police chase, you freak.
And honestly, bro, like,
Is that like aiding and abetting?
I couldn't eat with this hand for like 5 months, bro.
Yeah, it's like, what? Is it Turkey where they like wipe a bum with one hand and eat
shit.
with the other?
Yeah.
So you essentially got that your own system. From
Yeah.
Just from
I
assaulting a
eat
dog.
with this hand and fuck dogs with this one. Yeah, it wasn't intentional.
But only criminal dogs.
Yeah.
Justice served. Let that be a lesson to you, eh?
Getting in with the wrong crowd, have that.
I would say if you're getting fingered over a fence, you are in with the wrong crowd. I think that's how you know you've fallen in with the wrong boys.
That's it.
Sadly, there is footage of my third ever gig on YouTube.
All right.
We watched it on our podcast, and now people tweet me it constantly.
Is it bad?
Real bad.
Right.
Really, really bad. Like, however bad you think, worse. Like, really, like, if I saw someone doing that now, I'd be like, "This ain't for you, mate." Nah. But yeah, like, my next door neighbour when I lived in Halls at uni was a comedian, still is, Angus Dunnican, shout out. And yeah, it was just like, "You're funny, you should do comedy." And I was like, all right. So I went to a gig the next day and just did it. Then did it about 10 times when I was at uni, but I was a bit too busy doing drugs and that to like take anything seriously. But what happened was like a flyer like blew onto my doorstep of my flat for Harrogate Comedy Festival.
That's like a fucking that's like a 8 Mile esque.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking, if 8 Mile was about a stand-up comedian,
yeah,
that'd be a scene in it.
So corny. But like, that's actually what happened when I was like 23. I was working in a pub and I'd always like thought, "Oh, I should give that more of a go." And it literally like blew to my feet. I picked it up and it was like looking for comedians for this competition.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I went and did it, and then ever since then, like about 11 years I think now I've been doing it properly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What was is that your worst show that you just said? Or have you had a worse one?
So the one that like sticks out when people are like, "What's the worst one?" The one that like haunts me the most was Preston, right? Preston Guildhall. Preston is one of the worst places in the world to do comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I thought you were going to stop at one of the worst places in the world.
You are right, to be fair.
Like,
I could have stopped that sentence a lot early, and it would have been fine. But to do comedy, fuck me, right? Like I don't think I've ever had a great gig there.
Right.
Because like, it's like showing a dog magic tricks. I'm at Preston Guildhall, right? And it's huge. It's like the biggest gig I've ever done at this point. I was really new. Been going about 3 years, and I've just done my first Edinburgh Festival, and it had gone really well. I've been doing a late night show with my mate. I've been doing 20 minutes every night, having loads of fun in this tent outside a nightclub. It'd been great. I come back, so I'm full of myself. I'm like, I fucking got this shit, you know. I was like, I think I've cracked this comedy lark. I've got it down. First weekend, I got to Preston Guildhall. I'm in the middle of the biggest gig I've been on, and I go on. And at the point, I had a joke that had gone very well at midnight in the Edinburgh Festival.
Right.
Where I would talk about how I looked so much like a paedophile that if I was one, people wouldn't believe it. Because it was too obvious.
Like a double bluff.
Hiding in plain sight. The Savile defence, right? I said this. It's like one of the first things I said on stage. And like, have you ever seen 400 people disgusted in you at the same time? Because I fucking have. They looked at me just like I'd just gone, I actually, joking aside, have sex with children, right? just before we start, I know this is comedy, but I'm not joking. And like, it got so bad. By the end of my 20 minutes, which I did all of it, right? 3 minutes in, it's that bad. By the end of the 20, people wouldn't look at me, right? They were just having their own conversations. And I like wrap up like, cheers, see you later. I walk off, right, and I go into the green room bit. It wasn't even a green room, right? It was to the side of the stage, this open bit where everyone can see you. Right, so I'm sat there just like marinating in my shame. And I'm like sat there like, fucking shit, this fucking thick cunts there. Fucking awful, this Bush. And then Tom Wrigglesworth goes on to close the show. And when I say he smashed it, he fucking roofed it. People are falling out of their chairs just like, "Ma!" And he's really smart. His stuff's really great. And I was like, yeah, I think it might have been me. I just had to fucking eat it. It's the worst when you're the only one who dies. If everyone dies, shit gig, not your fault.
Do you think it takes shit like that to make you good at things? Because I do. Like, when you're saying then about like 400 people looking at you disgusted, I've done support slots for like massive artists, and you walk out on stage and the majority, there might be a couple who have like your t-shirt on, like there might be like 5, 10 people, little one group here, little group there. But when it's a big crowd, bro, like if it's 1,000 people who don't give a fuck about you, and that first song just kicks in and nobody's moving, everyone's just looking at you with like oh mate, it's actually the most fucking terrifying thing I've ever done. But it's actually not anymore because I've done it so many times. But like the first couple of times you do it, bro, then you learn there's just, I think it's like a switch in my brain that was like, there's no use in getting nervous before a show. So I just zone out and literally don't think about it. And there's no point in like being intimidated by the crowd because you just after a while you just learn that, and it don't help anything. You might as well just face it head on, even if it's terrible. You've got to perform like everybody's going crazy.
And like once you've had the worst thing that can happen, and you realise you're all right, you go home, you're fine. You know, your life's still the same. You never see those people again.
Even though 400 people hate you.
But like there's 400 people who think you're shit, right? But like it very rarely comes back to haunt you. Like it has for me once, right? Like another one that is like historically bad in like my gigs. I was in Shrewsbury once, right? Doing this was I was going to Edinburgh the next day, so I've been working up this show all year. I had this show that I was like, this is really fun. I'm proud of this show. I think it's really good. Last minute, Danny McLaughlin, who you had on the other week, shout out Danny. He's my mate. He was like, I've got a last minute preview of my gig in Shrewsbury. Do you want to jump on and do it? You know, get another run in. I was like, fucking class, mate. Yeah, I'll go do that. You know, give me a little another run. I go there, and I was on with Alan Cochrane, who is a fucking unbelievable comic, who wanted to go home early. So he's like, can I go on first? And stupidly, I said yes. So Alan, for an hour, ripped it. Murderous, right? And like Shrewsbury's a really middle-class town, right? And Alan he's a great comedian, does like a lot of like really just brilliant observational stuff. One of his best bits ever was just about eating a peach over a sink, and it's fucking hilarious. Honestly, it's so good. But my stuff, that show was all about me accidentally going to a brothel in Leeds and like you know, accidentally doing crack and all this shit.
Accidentally doing both of those things.
Yeah, and like genuinely, and all this. So like, and it's just filth and depravity. And I'm going on after Cochrane doing that, and honestly, it was fucking brutal. I had a bit early on in that show that was about how if your dog dies, it's not as bad. It was like, oh yeah, my mate's dog had died ages ago, and like he was moaning about it, and he was like, yeah, well, you know, you wouldn't tell me to get over it if I'd lost a kid. And I was like, yeah, but no one's ever put the kid down because they couldn't afford to fix it. Right, and I was doing this whole bit about that, and they just got so angry. And then 40 minutes into the show, I just went, you know what? I think I've bored and upset you for long enough. Shall we just go home? So I was like, Alan was good earlier, wasn't he? Right? And you've only paid a £5, so I think that's fair. We left, right? A year later, my car set on fire when I was driving out of Birmingham. Right? Just literally out of nowhere. I'm driving along. out of the bonnet, right, out of like the passenger side headlight, just flames.
Fucking hell.
Sketchy as shit, man. So like, I drove a lot of shit cars, right? So like, I bailed into this building site, this car, and like, I jump out, running. Like, weirdly, even though it was like 11 at night, there was like builders there. I like ran in and I was like speaking to them, I was like, fuck, can I, can I use your phone and all this? And we're like, looking at this, we're all hiding behind a skip, right? So we're like, think this car's going to blow because we've watched too many films, right?
Yeah.
And like, we're waiting for the fucking fire.
Mushroom cloud.
Yeah. We're all like, fuck, it's going to go. And they're like, how much is in the tank? I'm like, it's half full, fuck. Right? We're hiding behind
Ready to do a stop, drop and roll.
Yeah. We're all hiding, right? We call the fire brigade, right? They arrive. They wander over to the car and we're like, mate, get behind the skip. And they're like... The guy goes, it's a diesel in it. And we went, yeah. And he went, it's not going to blow then, is it? And we were all like, yeah, knew that. Yeah. We get out, right? One of these builders, like this builder's goes, why are you out here? And like one of the other builders goes, are you a comedian? To me. And I was like, fucking hell, yeah, have you seen me somewhere? And he goes, yeah, Shrewsbury. 15 people in this room in Shrewsbury watched me die on me fucking ass. A year later in Birmingham, one of them is on the building site that I happened to ditch my burning car into. So one of his mates goes, is he any good? And I went, I'll stop you. He thinks I'm shit, but he's wrong. With my car burning down in front of me with a bunch of builders who think I'm shite. It's fucking brutal, that.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
I once bumped into this guy in Australia. I did this tour in Australia with an artist called 360. He was like a sick rapper out there. And I was at a bus stop in, I can't remember what city it was. I think it might have been like Hobart, which is fucking Tasmania, like proper inbred, weird place. I'm stood at this bus stop, about to go to a venue, and a guy noticed me at the bus stop, but he was like the most blasé person you've ever. He was like, "Oh, Lunar, I've seen your stuff, man." I was like, "Oh, safe, good to meet you." And then he just carried on his phone. I was like,
Nice.
"Are you not like wondering why I'm here? Like
In Hobart,
the other side of the world, in like the arsehole of Australia." And he was like, "I love it when people meet you and clearly don't give a fuck, and like, or like they'll meet you and be like, can I get a photo? My mate likes your music."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, not a fan then, no.
Yeah.
Never really liked it.
Oh,
Sound.
God. After that getting impressed in the Death gig, right, someone came up to this, like that green room just to the side of the stage. They come up to me and it's like, there's that bit of commotion. They come over to someone else and someone comes over and like, oh, some people want to speak to you. And I'm like, this isn't going to be good. Because like, I know what's just happened.
Yeah.
This ain't going to be a chat about how great I am. But they're like really smiling. They were like, no, actually, no, they really wanted to like talk to you. And I was like, oh, maybe there's two people in the room who got what I do, you know. I go over and they're like, can we get a photo? And I was like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. And they go, yeah, you look just like my mate's brother.
Oh mate, check this out. This is fucked. This is a good. I've got two of these, right?
Yeah.
The second one's better. The first one, I'm walking down the street with my headphones on. It always happens with my headphones on. And a guy said something to me in the street, and I all I heard was something about my beard, and I was like, "Oh, thanks, mate." And he goes, no. So I took my headphones and off. He goes, "You got shit in your beard." And I'd just eaten a croissant, yeah, and I pulled like this flake of croissant that was about that big out of my beard, yeah.
You're like, cheers.
But, yeah. But it like it's the thinking they've like that one's not as bad. The second one's
Cheers,
worse.
thanks for being a fan.
Yeah. No. This is what happened with the second one. A guy come up to me in the gym, yeah. I've just stood up after doing some weights. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was bent over basically, and then I stood up and I turned around and a guy was talking to me, and then he just fist bumped me and I didn't hear what he said, and I was like, "Oh, safe man, good to meet you," and he goes, No, your ass is hanging out, mate," and now, like, I literally still go. I really hope he never watches his podcast because I still go to the gym, and he like trains next to me sometimes. Like, he's always at the gym.
Go
and
back. I think I'd be getting a new membership.
Yeah. It was so embarrassing, bro. It's like, yeah, do you want a fucking autograph? He's like, no, mate, your ass is hanging out.
Yeah, you've been tense.
Terrible.
You've been really.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you?
Whatever.
That's a shit general question, but go, man.
The first thing that's coming to my head when I said that, right, like there's a sequence of embarrassment here, right. When I was like 9, I was in the boys' brigade,
Right.
which is like church scouts.
And I got molested. Well embarrassing.
Well,
My mates wouldn't leave me alone for years.
Yeah, he finally got me. So I was in that, right, and like this is just layers and layers of embarrassment. Like this was a thing that my mum put me in that I had to go do, right, and I was. There was this big event, right, where you had to do like different events against different groups of boys' brigades, right? Like they'd all meet up, and it'd be like the Yorkshire competition or whatever. And I was made captain of the Bible studies team for our group, right? Let's do a little quiz. Right, this isn't even the embarrassing bit, even though it's really upset me to say all of this. Like literally every word of this.
Yeah. I was laughing at when you started at Boys Brigade.
I know, I'll be honest, like, I could have just gone, I was in Boys Brigade, we could have moved on, and this would have been fun.
That's the most embarrassing thing.
So, like, we came third, right? So I'm already embarrassed that I've got to do this, but then I've got to go and collect an award in front of, like, 200 fucking Boys Brigade people. I fell on my face. As I went up onto the stage, I tripped up, grazed my face. So I had a big pink face in the photos. And I was all like, I had to get this trophy. There's like this picture of me collecting a certificate, and I'm just like, just because everyone in the crowd was just pissing themselves at me falling over. That's a proper like primary memory. That.
Yeah, I feel like the most things that stick out in my head as embarrassing things was shit that happened when I was like really young.
Yeah, because I don't give a shit now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, you know, if my ass is out in the gym, enjoy the fucking view.
Yeah. Like even that, I'm not that arsed. Like I'm still like, it's
you'll
still...
get over it.
Yeah.
But like, when you're a teenager though, it's so much worse.
Yeah,
being
man.
a tiny bit embarrassed then, it's just like.
Yeah. I once walking down the street towards my auntie's house, and someone threw something out of a car, and it hit me in the face, and I was just raging. Like I chased the car and everything. And it was like full of grown men who would have just beat me up because I was like fucking
And also,
14.
they're in a car.
They're in a car.
Yeah.
But like it would just get into the end of the street, so I'm like, if they have to stop at the end of that street, I don't know what I'd have done. I was fucking 14. I'd have just got battered. So anyway, I'm running raging, bro. So my fucking cheek's burning, bro. I felt my cheek, yeah. I've got full red lollipop stuck to my face, bro. And I've ran all the way down the street with it. Yeah. And didn't know it were there. I've just pulled this thing off my face. Oh, mate, that's probably one of the most embarrassing things.
I remember I was on a school trip in Germany. It was the night of the Champions League final, United versus Barcelona at Wembley. We'd gone to a sports bar, but only, obviously, the teachers, we couldn't go in the bar, but it was like a big, it was like football pitches and all kind of stuff, you know, for like kids to like, you know, mess about with. Teachers are in like inside like the bar area watching this match, and we're like sat watching it out the window. And I'm not feeling well. I had like, I think it was a schnitzel I had, or there was something I had. It didn't agree with me, right? So I'm sat here, it's me here, Adam here, watching the match through the window. And I was like, I think I was in year 10, year 11. And I was farting, but it was risky. They were all risky. They were all, could go either way, this. But I'm all right. Done one fart, it's all come out. I said, Adam, I think I just shit myself.
No.
He says, what? I says, I think it's just happened. He said, what are you going to do? I said, I've got to sort it out. So
why did you tell anyone?
I say all that. This is the day I became a man, I believe. So
this is your bar mitzvah.
This is my origin story. I've find any door to this boat. So I've ran through this door. I'm in the kitchen.
It's the worst place for someone to covered in shit to be.
There's Germans everywhere, shouting, angry. I can't understand. I've got poo.
It's shite.
I've got poo in my pants. I've ran to the staff toilets, bang bang, sorted myself out, cleaned myself up. Come out the other side. Everyone stood. Teachers, students, everyone stood outside Leyton.
Oh, they're all just waiting for you to come out of the toilet.
Yeah, Leyton.
No, slow clap.
Leyton, we've had a complaint. You can't run into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Poo in your pants.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I was like, it's fine. Don't worry. I'm all right.
Yeah.
And they said it happens to the best of us. I said, I know. And that was it.
Did you get a nickname off that? Because like, if that happened at my school,
you must have been hard. You.
No, I wasn't. I was black.
So giving you a nickname
I was the only one at the time. It was me and another guy.
So you can't give the only black guy a nickname.
Right.
Well, they probably already had some.
So, yeah, I just didn't know him.
Just don't say it around.
But yeah, I that was the day I was like, no, I became Leyton that day. Oh, it's Leyton. He shit himself.
Yeah.
Next day I got run over.
You did.
Yeah.
That kind of buries it though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do something big and you gotta make a
Dead cat.
spectacle to make people forget about that.
The dead cat on the table. Yeah. Last time, like, I shit myself before a rap battle once because I've done.
Wait, what is so? Right, I know that you battled. I know that you battled Shuffle T.
Yeah, not just battle, beat Shuffle T.
Yeah, beat Shuffle
I beat
T.
Shuffle T. Let's get that on the
That is
on the record.
That is very.
In what I would
big
claim
bragging rights.
is the biggest upset in battle rap history. I would say I don't think there's ever been a bigger underdog victory.
So was that an actual just a rap battle?
Yeah, it was in a comedy club,
shit.
so it was in my home territory, but it was a full-on rap battle.
Dojo.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been like one of them roast battle things.
No, it was a rap battle.
Fucking hell.
My entire first scheme was on one rhyme scheme, mate. My entire first round, one rhyme scheme, all the way through.
Wow.
Fucking
Have you got a little?
So did you used to rap or like?
No, I'm just a big fan. I love battle rap. Not you. No, I'm joking.
That's why I hate you.
Yeah. No, like I just love it. Like there was one bit where I was doing like the bit I did against Shuffle. I was doing like, you know, the Chris Rock. There's two types of black people. I was doing there's two types of white people. Right. I was like, there's white people and there's crackers. Right. And I was like, Shuffle's a cracker.
And I'm a real Caucasian.
Yeah. It was on the scheme. It was like I was talking about like, the ways in which he's like super white. I was like, has he done Tough Mudder? Only twice. When he orders curry, only rice. Watches Antiques Roadshow, knows the price.
Nah, he's got the multis down.
Yeah.
Good.
I bet he weren't expecting you to
This
be
was
as
it. He
good,
wasn't
man.
expecting the multis. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I've done a lot of like. Battles.
Man, if you've got multis and you've got like,
Comedy.
yeah.
This is it. That was it.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's it.
You know, but yeah, like I've battled a lot of comedians. Like there's been a lot of like comedy rap battles.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like no comedian will battle me anymore because I take it too serious.
That's
So I'm like, because I can multi.
That's sick.
Palms
like,
are sweaty.
Yeah. They're all like, you are fat and I saw a cat. I'm like just trying to end their bloodline.
No, that's sick.
But
Have you always been into like hip hop and stuff then?
Since I got to uni, yeah, when I was 18, I was like, you know, from a small town in North Yorkshire. Then I went to uni in London and I moved in and my housemate, one of them was a producer, one of them was a rapper and another one was a graffiti artist.
Sick.
I took up breakdancing. I really should have done to complete it. But no, like they just started, like I got there and they just started playing me like Wu-Tang. And like,
Yeah, that's
I
where it
was like,
started with me, man.
they played me 36 Chambers, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is me."
Yeah.
And then from there, just got well into UK hip hop, and like
Sick.
just really into like that like golden era in UK hip hop, the Task Force, Jess,
Man.
that era.
Fucking
Yeah.
Maestro and Skinny
mate.
Man.
Yes, mate. I went to see Skinny Man doing Council of State of Mind.
Yeah, with a
recently.
band.
It was so sick.
So
man.
sick, bro. I seen him at Blues Kitchen in Manchester, man.
I was at that gig.
Were you?
Yeah.
No
So-
way.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there,
I
mate.
didn't see you.
No, I didn't either. No, although people like whenever I go to a UK hip hop gig, people think I'm dot syntax.
Yeah.
It's like honestly, like 3 or 4 people every time I go to a UK hip hop gig will be like sinners. And I'm like, nah, no, it's not me. Yeah.
Sick.
But yeah, like I was wondering about that same thing. I'm off to see KRS-One on Monday there.
Really?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, at Blues Kitchen. Sick, man. Yeah, man. Because we were talking to Danny McLaughlin about if because he's like hip hop and stuff.
Yeah. Big
And he
hip-hop
was
head.
saying that like he went through a phase of liking indie just because he wanted to fuck a girl who.
Yeah.
So he started wearing tight jeans and Converse. For a
Right,
little
see, I've
while.
always been that guy. You
Yeah.
know, and then I got into hip hop, I went the other way.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I've definitely had loads of mad phases. man.
Yeah. I think you do when you're like, because you attach your identity to stuff like that when you're a teenager and stuff, don't you? So you're kind of figuring yourself out at that stage.
I was a proper basic bitch mosher, like when I was a teenager. I was a proper like wallet chain, long hair, like
baggy
Nice.
jeans.
whatever hoodie they had in the record shop in the next town over. Right, I might not have heard the band, but it looked like a cool metal hoodie, so I'd get it,
man.
and then I'd retrospectively get into the band.
Would you ever do a rap battle like on a proper league, like
I'd love
Premier
to, mate.
Battles?
Yeah.
Would you
like,
do
I
it?
spoke to Prem about it, like about getting it going. Yeah, just forgot to follow it up, man.
Shit, man.
Yeah, like Prem are up for having it. Like I'd definitely do it, mate. Yeah.
Fucking hell! Did they know you beat Shuffle and that?
Yeah,
Oh, bro,
yeah,
they
like-
should get you on, man.
Well, yeah, it was dead funny, man. Like 'cause I mentioned on, I was like chatting to them online somewhere where I was like, oh yeah, I'd be well up for doing a battle, and they're like, yeah, let's get it sorted. And then some like fucking academy tryout prick was like, how was he skipping the queue? And I was like, my tryout was beating shuffle
Yeah,
tin. Like, do you want to shut the fuck up?
Yeah. Also having a following.
Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, of course. Also, there's this
No
thing
shade to him.
in battle rap where it's like you kind of earn your place by just having a following too, bro. Like it's skipping the queue a bit, but at the same time,
I'm not joining your queue. I don't care about your queue. I'm not trying to be a battler. I'll have like 3 battles, you know, and
and bro, it benefits the company for someone who always has a platform.
It's just a bit of a laugh. It's a bit different.
Yeah, of course,
you know,
man.
Like, there's plenty of people I really want to battle, like, definitely.
Really, who?
Osh should obviously be great.
Yeah, man.
Like,
That'd be
love
sick.
Osh. Like Tony D, I think is the fucking greatest.
Yeah,
love
man.
Tony. If you ever want to come out of retirement, I'll fucking end you.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Nah, do you know what? Though? I feel like it'd be good, man, because I think sort of not to downplay what's going on now because it's
there's
sick
loads of good
and I
shit
love
happening.
it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I loved that era in UK battle rap where it was
just mum
mainly
jokes
funny
and
shit.
daft, yeah.
Yeah, like it was very British.
That's
and
what I really got into. That's like, you know,
I think you'd
your
slot
mum's got
into
a
that,
tattoo with the
really.
Umbro sign. It's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sort of era.
Yeah,
where I
man,
was like,
of course.
That's what I love in battle rap.
Yeah,
totally.
exactly, man. That's and I think that's what is missing a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, I don't really like the like American battle rap style where it's just like they do like 15-minute rounds.
Yeah,
it's all
it's
just
very-
like. All
Do you know what?
serious.
I like the fucking. I like that. I just don't like the English version of that.
Sure.
It's just not like they don't do it in a authentically British way enough for me.
Yeah,
And I know that fucking at the end of the day we're rapping, so it's not a British thing
sure.
anyway. So there's gonna be elements and influences from America and stuff. Like some of your favorite rappers are good, definitely be from America and that. So that's fine. But when it comes to like the
like the
certain
British
words
side
you
of it,
use,
you like- yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like I've studied this shit, so I clock people's even like how they physically move in battles and their cadence or like just the way they'll roll out a punchline. I can spot where they've got it from, and if it's just too American,
Mate, it's so the same
like
in comedy,
it
you know.
cringes me to fuck. Yeah, the comedy.
Mate,
man.
watching people do Dave Chappelle's mic slap where he taps
Yeah,
on his
yeah,
leg,
yeah.
mate, the amount of open spots doing that with some like, you know, it's a white guy from Stroud, and he's like after his shit jokes like, all right, mate.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. It's like, okay, all right. You know.
What do you think of Dave Chappelle?
Well, I saw Dave Chappelle do the worst show
Yeah,
I've ever seen anyone do.
Yeah, man,
the
it
other
might be
week.
the same one Freddie were telling me
Yeah,
about.
so I mean, like we went to see. So he dropped into Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool like 2 months ago. So at 9 p.m, I got a phone call from Freddie, and he's like, "I'm at Hot Water. Dave Chappelle's going to be here in an hour."
Yeah.
And like, because it's Freddie, I didn't believe him. So I rang like 3 other comics to confirm it. Got in my car like in Manchester, arrived there just as like I walked in and like bumped into Jeff Ross, and then like
Sick.
there was like a bunch of people milling around, and I was like, I went to the owner of the club. I was like, "Tell me you're not fucking lying." And he went, "Look left," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that is Chappelle." Yeah.
Wow.
And then he went on. So it'd been after the main show that had been on the night, and they'd just sort of been like, "We're going to drop in, you know, let your audience know if they want to stay."
Yeah.
So they were after it, and like we go in, and he did about 5-10 minutes of like new ideas that were good that ended up being his Saturday Night Live set, quite a lot of it, when it was like really new. Then he brought up Jeff Ross, and they both just got really pissed and really stoned and were so unfunny.
Which he also acknowledges that's when he's shit. So I don't know why he still does it. Like he's one of his bits in one of his recent stand is about how his worst show, and it was literally just because he was stoned.
Yeah.
So like, I don't get that because I had to stop smoking weed before shows like a while ago. Like I used to be as stoned as I could because it used to chill me out, and then it got to the point where I'd just forget everything.
Yeah, this is it, and it was like it just became like not even an attempt to do stand up. It was just like sort of
A rant.
meandering chat. Yeah. He was cringy at times, and like, look, I think he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I think he has a little bit started to believe his own myth too much. I think that's bad for a comic. When you're like, I'm the greatest, and everything I say is worthwhile hearing. Don't think it's a great position for a comedian to be in.
Yeah.
Like, I
No,
like
that's
being
true.
like, I'm a fucking idiot.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You still
Yeah,
got to
it's
have
like-
that bit. Like it's same with what I do, man. The second you get too comfortable and you stop trying to get better, you end up getting worse. Like if you aren't pushing like if you're either going forwards or backwards. There's I'm just comfy now and I'm going to stay here.
Don't get me wrong, my mates went to see him in the stadium the next night when he was like fucking trying and he apparently fucking twatted it. But it was mad, like, by the end of the crowd, what was really funny with it was, I think, when you're used to, like, American audiences, where, like, if you're an American audience and Dave Chappelle comes out for a guest spot, they're just like, fuck, Dave Chappelle. Whereas in Britain, they're like, go on then.
Yeah.
Be funny.
They're
not that arsed. Like, they're just, like, you know, they were like, the cheer wasn't like, you know, the roof coming off. Paul Smith gets a better reception every time.
Yeah, really.
You know, it was like, you know, they were like excited, but like, okay. You know,
now prove yourself.
Still got to
do some stuff. Yeah, and it was, by the end of the show, there was like 15 people left in the room. It went on for an hour and 45 minutes. To the extent that like his assistant was like, Dave, the staff need to go home. And he was like, yeah, I'll go in a bit. But then, like, you know, he took some mates out for a curry and that. I couldn't be arsed. I just went home. I was like, I don't drink anymore. I couldn't be arsed. He was just really drunk. And, like, you know, he was dead sound. He was, like, being nice. And, like, I said hello and, like, shook his hand. And he was like, oh, you know.
It's not like meeting him.
Yeah, he was like, you know, he was interested to meet the local comics. He was sound with that. You know, he was cool and, like, hung out with us a bit and that. And, like, but, yeah, it was just a bit like, he was dead pissed. Everyone was pissed. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I was like, I get it.
Go before it,
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's nice, that's cool. I've met Dave Chappelle. And like I said, like, endless respect
and
to
he
Dave
was
Chappelle.
shit.
He was shit that night, yeah, he really was. But, you know, I was really glad I was there for that. It's kind of cool watching, you know, a hero be shit.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we can all be shit.
Yeah.
You
Is he in your, like, Mount Rushmore of comedians, or if not, who is?
I don't know. So if I'm only getting 4 for a Rushmore, I don't know if he makes it. Like, for me,
I don't know if...
Chris Rock was the guy who got me into comedy.
Really? Chris Rock?
Like, was the one. When I saw, because I saw like Bigger and Blacker on Channel 4 when I was like 11 or 12 and like shouldn't have been watching it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I've seen comedy and I'd seen British comedy. But I'd not seen someone fucking strutting around the stage, just killing to that level, just being like, bah, bah, full on 90s cocaine Chris Rock, you know, like man. Fucking. And it just like, it blew me away. So like Chris Rock's got to be on there. Like, I think, like, you know, like his like 90s run is unmatched.
Sick. Do you know what, bro? I'd have to look into that a bit because I don't.
You not big on Chris Rock yet?
Nah, not really, man.
You got to go.
I must be sleeping, man.
Yeah, like so, Chris Rock.
I seen him at like on the Def Jam comedy thing.
Oh, bro, you've got to see his.
That's kind of my first.
I really got into Def Jam as well.
I used to fucking love that shit.
Yeah, like there's a whole generation.
Bernie
of,
Mac sets.
Yeah, my dog's called Bernie Mac.
Really?
Yeah, because like, I fucking love him.
I ain't scared of you, motherfucker.
Well, was it like, you know?
R.I.P.
It was like black American comedies. Like there's a whole generation of like northern UK comedians who grew up watching Def Jam late night on Channel 4.
Yeah.
It's really funny. We're all like, I have this conversation with the comics. We're all like, I used to fucking stay up and watch it.
Of course,
and, like,
man.
Really got into us all. So like, all that sort of stuff's huge for me. To be honest, Louis C.K. before the incident was like, you know, was someone who massively got me into it.
Would you take him off that now because of the wanking?
I mean, it depends who's asking.
Yeah.
Depends if I can be asked with the conversation.
I like to see how much people try to pretend that he's not still brilliant.
Sorry was so good. It's like, like, you know,
it's not someone you can proudly be like, championing like you used to be able to, man.
Bill Burr is the best comedian I've ever seen live.
Bill Burr's amazing.
Like, I saw him do an afternoon show at the Edinburgh Festival, and it's like 400-seater, and it was like, I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. Like, I couldn't breathe. It was amazing. Brian Regan's got to be right up there as a little like outside shout.
Familiar with
he's a comedian I got into because so many other American comedians would mention him in interviews. Right. He's a clean comic, works completely clean, and does loads of like mad act outs and stuff. But if you watch I Walked on the Moon, it's on YouTube. It's especially filmed in a comedy club, and it's just in a little club, and it's just fucking amazing. He's so good.
Sick, I'll check that.
So yeah, they're right there. Patrice O'Neill,
100%
has to be in with a shout of it. George Carlin,
Yeah, I think you've
Massive
said
fan
more than 5 now.
I have, yeah. Billy Connolly, you know, like I can't pull it down.
Narrow it down. Nah, of course,
I think at the moment, Michelle Wolf might be the best doing it. She's
Michelle
right
Wolf.
up there. Michelle Wolf is as good as anyone on earth right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Check that.
She
I'll
is
write that down.
fucking phenomenal. Just amazing at premises. Like she always just like comes at a topic everyone else is doing from an angle no one else has thought of. And I fucking love that.
Sick.
Yeah.
I don't really have like a list of comedians as much as I have like a list of like specials that I really like.
Yeah.
Like for me, Pimp Chronicles by Cat Williams is.
I
one
love
of the
Cat Williams,
best
man.
things
Cat
ever.
Williams is one of my favourite
The
comics.
one in the green suit though, like, I don't even
so
think he's
good.
come close to that. Like,
No,
do you know
is
what
that
I
the
mean?
one with the Michael Jackson stuff? I
Yeah.
think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that again when I was really young, and that was like
so
blew
good,
my
bro.
mind.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And like stood the test of time as well.
Yeah.
Like
Wildly underrated as a comic, Cat Williams. Weirdly, like people don't realise how
because he's
great
fucked
he
in
is.
his
Yeah,
head,
it's
man.
'cause
Like, he
he's-
ruins
yeah,
it.
he's
He
crazy.
ruins it.
Yeah.
He
But
starts beefs with other comedians.
But the
and-
levels he got to, the level he peaked at.
Yeah,
It
and then he
was
got
like-
battered by a child on,
Yeah,
on
he got
YouTube.
put in an headlock.
That was that was a bit crushing for me. That were like watching almost like
Watching your dad get beaten.
yeah, I was gonna say
yeah.
like you know if someone were like just if you saw your dad just get bitched in the street like shut the fuck up and he just took it.
Yeah, just
He'd be like yeah, like I feel like your balls have just gone into your stomach. Oh. That's what it felt like, man. Like watching one of your heroes just
love
kind of fall from grace.
I can't remember which one it is, but like he's got a special where he just starts with like 20 minutes about the local mall, and it's fucking incredible. So like the special starts with him going.
Oh,
round
it
the mall.
always starts with very local, and then
Does, but like so much of it, like he does like 20 minutes of local shit every time. And he's
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about how
yeah.
like this is the most ghetto mall that he's ever seen. He's just like, there's one shop that was selling pit bull puppies and single cigarettes.
that sounds like Bradford.
Yeah. But no, Cat Williams is right up there, man.
Yeah, Mitch
I love that.
Hedberg, the special where it were like.
It's really badly
awkward.
filmed, yeah.
Yeah.
So Mitch
yeah,
Hedberg
like the
only
one on
has-
YouTube as well has got like half the screen cut off. It's weird as
He's
fuck.
like he only got one proper filmed special, Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's- yeah, and
And none of the crowd get him at all.
no, so it wasn't his crowd. They were filming 2 specials in a
That's an
night.
MTV thing.
Yeah. So they filmed someone else's special, and I think more of them were there for him. And when they're filming stand-up, like very often, if a TV company's left to it, they always get the most inappropriate venue. So they want somewhere that looks cool on camera, so there's these big grand venues.
Yeah.
For stand-up, you want a little
There's like a
cozy-
disconnect in there between.
Exactly.
I've
you
found
need a
that
low
myself,
ceiling.
man.
You need them packed in, and like so. Yeah, it was one of them, and he even references how fucking awkward it is.
Yeah.
And by that point, he was like way into smack as well.
Yeah.
Like he was like deep in by
Yeah.
that point, but it's still fucking
He was
amazing.
fucked on the show. Like, he was pissed, I think. But
Well, it's classic thing, isn't it? Of just like I used to do drugs, I still do,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
used to also.
mate, some of the shit he says on there, some of the quotables are.
Oh man, he's,
An escalator could never be broken. It
Yeah.
can only become stairs.
should have a sign that says "Sorry for the
Yeah,
convenience."
sorry for the convenience. Yeah,
Rice is
amazing.
great when you want to eat 1,000 of something.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's got like them one-liners just
Yeah,
all day,
Nice.
bro. He's so good. He's so
Yeah.
fucking good.
Getting a receipt for a donut. It's like, I don't know why we need
Yeah.
to bring paperwork into this
Yeah, yeah.
transaction.
Like someone's gonna challenge him. Don't act like I didn't get that donut.
Well, like the opposite of that is Patrice O'Neill's Pepsi Cola rapist bit, where he's like, I just get being a black guy in America, I just get a receipt for something every 15 minutes. Like I just buy a can of Pepsi or whatever, and I never litter because if I throw it away, someone will find it next to a dead white woman, then I'm the Pepsi Cola rapist.
Have you seen the Patrice O'Neill stand-up where there's a sign language woman next to him, and then there's a guy typing? What's it called when they're typing everything he's saying?
Stenographer.
Stenographer. What a word. Good. Yeah.
Thanks, I was really proud of myself.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I've got this.
Yeah. So he's just trolling both of them through the whole
crazy.
set. So he's
Very
like
cool.
flirting with the woman who's doing sign language
Really
and shit.
cool.
But then like trying to trip up or making like noises that you can't necessarily type and shit. But it's just fucking amazing, bro. Patrice O'Neill, man.
Yeah, Elephant in the Room is one
Elephant
of
in
the
the
greatest
Room's
specials of all
amazing,
time.
bro.
Yeah.
He just opens up with the best crowd work I've ever seen, bro. Like,
Just
so
talking about a
good.
woman on the front row has big tits.
Yeah.
Because apparently,
Look at that white woman you've got.
well, this is, like apparently, so they have like they have people who manage the audience when they're like
Yeah.
filming like that. So they have people who put people in place.
Yeah,
so apparently,
yeah.
the woman doing it was like, "You're going down the front row."
Yeah. Amazing.
Quite.
Yeah, because he's like, he's talking about how you can tell how pretty a white woman is you could tell the value, he says, by how long they'd look for her if she
Yeah.
went missing.
Nice.
Yeah, if a black guy goes missing in the sea, they walk down to the edge of the beach and go, nope.
The conditions were abnormally windy.
He's like, if I ever go to sea, I'm taking a white baby on a keychain.
So he's going to dress it in Ugg boots. Man, we could just make a whole podcast out of just quoting.
Honestly, yeah, like he's the fucking greatest, and like he's the comedian I would most like to not be dead right now.
100%, man.
Like, can you imagine how good his podcast would be?
Bro, just watching his opinions on things happening now,
I know,
like,
right.
it's fucking sad, bro. Like,
He was the
so
best.
sad.
Yeah, the diabetes will get you.
Yeah.
That's what got him. You know,
Yeah.
found out because he peed in his girlfriend's mouth and she said it tasted sweet. Genuinely true. That's how he found out he had diabetes.
Yo, I'm gonna ask you a weird
Yeah.
question. Is there comedy groupies? Like,
Yeah, yeah, there is.
what
yeah.
do they look like, man? Because UK rap groupies are a bit.
Yeah, well, it varies, right? So, like, they're known as gag hags,
Nice. Nice.
or like I prefer chuckle fuckers, right? Is the alternative. And yeah, they definitely exist. Like, they congregate at the Edinburgh Festival, particularly.
Right.
And it's like generally. Yeah, like artsy, weird, nerdy, you know,
Yeah,
basically
man.
my target fucking market.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure,
they
man.
definitely exist. Yeah.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah, like, I think that like every similar art form will have its own.
Yeah, of course.
people
People
wanna
just
bang 'em.
fuck you because you do that who definitely wouldn't speak
Yeah.
to you in normal walks of life. Tell us about Martin.
Naked Martin.
Yeah, Naked Martin.
And well, he's become a friend through our podcast, right? And Naked Martin is an entertainer and content creator. I'd go with content creator.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely makes some
He
content.
definitely does
So
that.
what Martin does, he takes requests for custom videos, and you know, nudity is obviously involved.
Oh, I think I know who this person
I
is.
think you will. So basically, he'll do like the first video I ever saw of him. He shat in his hands, then smeared it on his face. Right. So like, it's got to the point now. We showed a couple of his videos because someone sent them in. We started having a laugh. Then we started talking to him on Twitter. Turns out he's a lovely fella. Right. He's a real sweetheart.
He always
really
are,
is.
isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he's a little batty, right? You know, he's a little mad.
That wasn't a homophobic
Yeah.
slur, by the way.
No.
He means mental.
I meant in the Yorkshire sense.
You were being ableist, not
Yeah.
homophobic.
Because he is gay, so it is important.
Oh, is
So
he?
He is. He's got a little husband.
Really? I imagined a pissed off wife.
No, I think pissed off husband.
Shit on everything.
Yeah. Well, he does keep it clean. So like he does like so. Yeah, we've had.
He doesn't keep it
No,
clean.
he puts that little tarpaulin.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, he's not a monster.
No, and like, what I like with him, he adds a little pizzazz as well. He put like a gold curtain behind him while he's shitting on the floor.
He's a showman.
He is. So he does stuff like he fried his spunk. He did one the other week where he made a butty out of it. He mixed up his turd with dog food and made a butty of it. Like he made an omelette that he pissed in and shat in.
Oh my god.
It's fucking amazing, like what he will do. And like here's my.
Do you reckon he kept that pan? Or do you have a
I reckon he's
special
got one special cum pan.
a shit pan?
Yeah,
He keeps under
yeah.
behind toilet in bathroom.
Yeah. And they find it in the dishwasher. He's fuming.
That one goes by hand.
We shower that pan.
Like he is my ultimate dream guest on the podcast. He's got some health issues, so he hasn't been able to come up yet. We're trying to work it out. We're going to go to him, we think, hopefully.
What has he got? E. coli.
Mate, the worst case of pink eye I've ever seen.
Bless him, man.
But no, he's a fucking legend. And now he'll message me on Twitter and be like, "Hey, I've got a new video coming out. Do you want a little exclusive?" And like he'll send them to us so we can have like a little preview
Sick.
of
my
his videos.
That's a good sponsor.
He's a
really
great
good
dude,
sponsor.
mate. He's a great dude. And like we've had some custom videos made. Like one of our comedian mates for one of our live shows sent Freddie, my co-host, a video that he'd hired Naked Martin to do, where Naked Martin jizzed on a photo of me.
Oh, what the fuck?
Right.
Oh, I can't get behind that.
So he sent Freddie that. Didn't tell Freddie that he'd also commissioned another video and told me about all of it, right? And commissioned a video of him shitting on a picture of Freddie, then licking it, right? Commissions this. doesn't tell Freddie. So Freddie thinks he's got this big secret bit to do at the live show, right? And like, so we're getting to the bit where we're gonna like show videos, and I explained to the sound tech that like Freddie's gonna try and do a prank, right? He's gonna think he's putting these fake videos, this video in to like fuck me up, doing this. And it was so funny watching him go around. I saw him like sneaking off to the sound guy, being like, I was like. So then during the show, they showed the video of that, and I was like, oh no. I was like, why didn't you show the second half? And they showed him that one, and Freddie's like, what? It's like the pooing one's proper getting.
Oh man.
So so and also at that live show, there's a fair few people who didn't know what the show was going to be. So,
do you get that a lot, like with your podcast and like maybe podcast guests or people who come to your stand-ups where they're not quite prepared for how far you take things?
The guests, yes, definitely.
I don't know how that happens though, because
well, people just don't watch it. You know, they're just like, oh, we'll go on.
What are they
and
doing?
like,
Some promo fucking run?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Just like,
Basically, and like and people will be a laugh, and they'll be like, oh, that'll be a laugh, and they don't realise that
it's going to be the worst day of their life.
Yeah, and like our live shows as well. Like we do every month at the Frog and Bucket, we do a roast show. So it's like
Sick.
so it works if you don't know the podcast is the thing. So it's
Right.
a roast battle show.
Nice.
So like there's different comics roasting all night. We do stuff like we have forfeits where we'll shoot them with a BB gun or fucking pie them in the face with something if they do a shit joke.
Sick, man.
So it's dead fun. It's proper chaotic,
I
but
didn't
it
catch
means
that.
because it's like we do it for like a £5 and it's at the Frog and Bucket, so
Yeah.
people just come without knowing.
Right.
So at the start we're always like, who's a fan of Dead Men? And like half the audience. And I'm like, who's here because it was a £5 at the Frog? And the other half. And we always lose at least one table in the first break. Always.
Really?
Nice.
Because we set out what it is. At the start we're like, look, right, here's what it's going to be. If you've come to the wrong show, soz. You know?
Yeah.
And then once they've seen one roast battle, they're like, I've seen enough. I've seen enough of that. Thank
One
you.
guy who come on last, because when I went on Dead Men Talking the other day, Freddie picked me up from the train station and he was telling me about Clint,
Yeah.
who was a
Bless him.
wrestler, who was like,
Yeah. We were talking about this before he came out, so I was telling him
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
And he's like the nicest fucking dude in the world. Like, he's such a sweetheart, and you were such a prick. So, like, because like Clint, he's like, his whole like, his wrestling thing is, it's not just his wrestling thing, obviously, he believes it. He's really into like equality, and
Yeah,
like being
man.
like anti-homophobia, anti-transphobia, all this. And he's like really like, big on that. So then obviously we're all those things, but we also are horrible and like fucking fucked up jokes about everything. So like he quietly asked for one of Freddie's jokes to be removed from it because it was like a homophobic joke, right? Which it was.
apparently like every time they made a joke about like women or like
Yeah.
He grimaced.
he was just like stone faced.
Yeah, and like you say, every time it was Freddie every time.
Yeah.
Every single time. Yeah, so then he comes on our episode and he goes, were you with a wrestler the other week who was homophobic?
I'm like, I only ate
throwing us
gays,
under the
and he's
bus.
like,
Because honestly, I've never met a sweeter man than Clint Margera.
Yeah.
He's such a nice dude. Loved him.
fucking, I have no idea. I'm gonna check him out, man.
Yeah.
Do you think having ADHD played a part in you becoming a comedian and not like having an office job or some shit? Because I feel like that's why I rap. Because
Yeah,
I
100%.
I physically can't focus on something I don't thoroughly enjoy.
Yes.
For longer than 10 seconds.
It's that, and like comedy just really suits someone with ADHD. Like I don't have to be anywhere particularly on time. Like I can get there within a range of time. As long as I'm there before I'm on, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have to be anywhere till 8 p.m. I'm in a different place every day, doing something a bit different.
Yeah.
It keeps me like going. And yeah, like it just it really works for it as well because my brain's fast.
Yeah.
You know, it's running dead fast, so it means I can be
And the
quick.
amount of topics you're allowed, the freedom of being able to touch
Yeah.
on whatever you want, it's like
100%.
keeps
Like-
it exciting.
Comedy is like 50% ADHD and autistic. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
it's like when comedians are like, I have ADHD, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it definitely fed into it. Yeah, even though I didn't realise I had it until like 2 years ago. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't been. Nah, and
I
I
haven't
don't.
had the formal
I never
diagnosis
used to
yet.
say I have ADHD, but
Yeah.
now everyone I've ever met tells me I have ADHD.
Oh god,
so-
like I very quickly realised how fucking textbook I am.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah,
and,
of course.
I've been on various NHS waiting lists and fucked up appointments because I've not turned up, which I think just give me the drugs in it. You know, like if I've not turned up for my ADHD appointment, I think
And do you take medication for ADHD?
no, I don't. Although I've got a mate posting me some because I've got a lot of admin to do.
Right.
But I'm gonna give it a bash. Like, I'll give it a try.
What is it? Adderall. I want
that's
to take
one of them.
Adderall, man.
Yeah.
It sounds sick.
Yeah,
It sounds
yeah.
like the Limitless pill.
Well, it
NZT.
is, yeah, that's what it's based on, isn't it?
I want that shit. Is that what it's based on? Limitless is based on
It's a good
Adderall.
film,
I
that.
think
Really
it's
like
something like
that
that.
film.
It's definitely something similar.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll do that to ADHD.
Yeah, you won't be able to
Like,
speak
write
Chinese.
$10.
Yeah, you won't speak Chinese afterwards.
Yeah.
Nah, but I feel like it's one of those things that like weed used to do it to me, like just slow me down that little bit where I can actually focus more. But now it just turned me into an absolute vegetable. So it doesn't really have that effect anymore. It just kind of makes me worse and less productive. But yeah, man, I'm gonna try Adderall.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go, man. Like, found a place in Liverpool.
I said that like it were his idea. Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
He's selling them. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a place in Liverpool that does like cheap ADHD diagnosis, so I'm gonna go over there.
Cheap, yeah, man.
Yeah, fucking get a
30
dodgy
quid.
one. It's like, yeah, like you're fucking ADHD. Off you go. Enjoy your drugs, lad.
I was watching Have a Word podcast and they were calling Coke a bag of shite. Like that's what Scousers call a bag of Coke. Get a bag of shite in la. That's fucking amazing. A bag of shite. Yeah, because I was watching yours as well. Your appearance on Have a Word from like a year ago.
Aye.
And you were talking about how you don't drink anymore.
Yeah, man.
Because you act like a nutter.
Yeah, coming up on 4 years sober.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Well played.
What kind of shit did you used to do when you were drunk?
Mate, like the amount of fucking I did a whole Edinburgh show about one night out where I would just get blackout, but I wouldn't have the kill switch where it'd be like go to bed.
Yeah,
I'd get
yeah.
blackout and I'd be out for another 8 hours. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'd just all sorts of shit. I'd end up in different cities to the ones I started in. I had one where I came out of a blackout at a blackjack table, a roulette table. And I was like, where the fuck am I? Like, it just snapped out of it. And I was like, where the fuck am I? It turned out I had started drinking in Liverpool. At this point, I was in Manchester in a casino. Right. I didn't have my phone. I was like, where was that? And they went, oh, the woman who was with you took it. I went, what woman?
Nice.
And then,
a
like,
good
then I
film.
looked at my chips and I went, oh, well, I'm doing all right. And he went, and the guy looked at me and went, you were an hour ago. And I was like, what does that mean? So I just had to like cash out and go home. So I'd like just come out of it. And it was like, yeah, it's like I was gambling all the time, so I'd be blackout, like, yeah, fuck it, let's go.
Just
That's
lose
a
control
superpower,
kind of
man.
thing.
That's a
Oh,
superpower.
I had all the, like my mates at the time was like, Rob, you need to slow down. It's fine having a vice, but you've got all of them. Like, drinking, drugging, sleeping with anyone who'd fucking have me. You know, it was just chaos.
Yeah, man. I don't really drink that much, and it's for similar reasons, man. I was at one house party in Manchester actually, and I didn't know anyone there. And like an hour in, I had whoever girl who lived there. I had her dressing gown on and nothing else, and I was just walking around. And one of my mates just looked at me and shook his head, and it just like that's when I realised I was like, oh shit, and like started drinking water and trying to come round and shit. And then now like an hour after that, I'm pretty much come round, and I'm sat there like, what the fuck were I doing? Like it was such a fast like I came round like pretty fast because just necking water. I was like, wow, I was acting like an actual animal like an hour and a half ago. It's just, and I just got bored of that.
Yeah,
like the
I got
feeling
tired
like
of it, mate.
like you have to wake up in the morning hungover and send sorry texts to people and shit. Like, it's just not fun.
I had one night where I had a 4-day bender at New Year's. It's the only reason I know when I stopped drinking. It was January the 5th because I had 4 days of New Year's, and on the last night out of it, I'd ended up right at the end of it. I was with like this young comedian who's a really sweet lad, and I'd been like screaming at a bouncer trying to get into a casino, and they wouldn't let me in because I was shit-faced. I was having this fucking argument with a bouncer. And I just remembered in the morning, I woke up this picture of this timid sweetheart of a comedian just being like scared and worried about the situation. I was like, I think I need to knock this on the head a bit. So yeah, like still smoke loads of weed. I'll still do drugs every now and again.
Yeah.
But very rare.
What kind of drugs?
Like a pill, maybe a bit of acid. You know, every now and again, like
bit of
at
mushroom.
a festival,
Do you like
love a bit of
Yeah,
mushrooms.
man.
But yeah, just not to. I haven't even wanted to go back to drinking. In the
Nah,
time
I
since.
don't miss
Like,
it. I don't miss
It
it.
used to be blackout like 4 or 5 nights a week. It was annoying.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's cocaine as well, man. It's like you end up doing it, don't you, just to bring yourself round.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've had many nights on coke where I'm like, I'm glad I did coke.
It's
always
that's never
like,
the experience.
why have I done that? Why have I got no money? Like, why? Do you know what I mean? I'm in pain. My body's dried out. I've got blood coming out my nose. Do you know what I mean? It's hot, and you literally mushrooms, like you can take it and the next day you'll feel like everything in life makes sense. Like you'll be
Yeah,
singing
yeah.
in the shower and shit.
Acid was
Cocaine is the opposite, man. Like you
acid
just
what
wish
stopped me
you was
drinking.
dead.
Like acid was it. Like
Oh, really?
Yeah. Acid was
Sick,
a huge
man.
part of it, man. So like yeah, like drugs can be good if you do them right.
Yeah,
Just
man.
do them in a
Moderation.
field on a sunny day. That's
Yeah.
my tip. Done.
Do you know what? I think we're done
I
there,
think
aren't
that's
we?
great.
Yeah, man.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for
lads.
coming, man.
No
We'll
worries.
come and see you at Frog and Bucket. as
Yeah,
well.
come down, man.
We'll do
They'll
that.
sort you out. Yeah, let us know.
Sick,
No, yeah,
100%,
you're welcome
man.
anytime.
100%.
Go follow and subscribe and all that good stuff. Go do the same for Dead Men Talking. And yeah, check that out. Go see Rob Mulholland live.
Yeah,
whenever
go on
you
tour
can.
next year with Freddie, so go check out those dates. They'll be on my social media.
We'll
Yeah,
go,
man.
We'll go. Let's go.
Mouthpiece Podcast, episode 3.
Is
Go
that a
fuck
thing?
yourself.
Oh, that's a thing.
YMCA.